And we're going to stick with the Spider-Man train for our news because Kevin Feige just thank you for calming our Spider-Man anxiety here, because after the release of Spider-Man No Way Home, which continues to just dominate the box office and is now in the top 10 highest grossing movies of all time and is Sony's most profitable movie of all time, Kevin Feige laid us fans to calm, as he basically said, not lay us down to rest, lay us down to calm.
Lay us down to rest.
Kevin Feige, as some people like to call him, Kevin Feige, more or less calmed our nerves and said, yeah, we're working on the next Spider-Man movie, and it's going to remain in the MCU, at least for one more movie. So whether this becomes a movie-to-movie basis, or they are working on the next trilogy like we've kind of thought that they would be for a while, whether they're just working on it and only telling us about one movie at a time, either way, I can relax now because, after leading up to No Way Home, we're just like, this is probably the end of it. This is probably the last of it. And thankfully it wasn't, and we're getting more. So, having seen No Way Home, I don't know if I've ever been more excited and more anticipating a Spider-Man movie. Now, having seen No Way Home, it's not just riding the high of seeing that movie. It's where No Way Home leaves us. I need more stories to follow that line. It's not even so much of the post-credit scene that teases some big things. Also sound really, really cool. But just where the movie leaves us as a whole, I'm really, really excited for future directions. So, last call. Spoiler alert. If you have not seen Spider-Man No Way Home, in order to talk about Spider-Man 4, we need to delve into spoiler territory here. So, last warning. Everyone he knows and loves is dead to him.
Basically, or he's dead to everyone else.
And I love it so much. The only thing I would change about No Way Home, and it's absolutely a little too fan servicey, is if Mr. Dinkovich was his landlord. You pay me rent? Like, come on now. But I felt like that in and of itself felt like a Toby reference, because his little tiny one-bedroom apartment looks a lot like Toby's. But just seeing that he's making his own suit again, which the eyes will move, because the eyes could move even before we got the Stark suit. Chameleon is still out there. To me, No Way Home was the buildup of this trilogy of learning what responsibility really means. The next trilogy, the college trilogy, can only lead up to one thing. Sinister Six, baby! I was worried going into No Way Home that the Sinister Six was more or less like the direction we were going with this, because we had 5 villains. I love all the memes that they're like, we got the Sinister Six, and then they show the picture of the tree in the cage. Like, we got 6. It's just a tree, man. It's just a tree. I appreciate that they never fight more than 3 at any given moment.
Yeah.
So they are keeping that in their back pocket. If I am them, if I am Marvel, which means they have much better ideas than me, but this is just me spitballing. Again, spoiler alert, but we see that a little piece of the Venom symbiote suit got left behind. Great. Don't use that just yet. In Spider-Man 4, we have him in community college. Maybe he meets Gwen or even Harry, and he's very, very cautious about meeting Harry because the name Osborn, he clearly has had bad experiences with them. Have Chameleon and maybe somebody else. Chameleon gets hired by maybe Kingpin, and you get a Daredevil Spider-Man team up. Please. I've just got Josh a little too excited there.
Only if they use the batons.
Yes. And then in the 5th one is when you use the symbiote suit, because obviously in the middle part of your trilogy, you just have to go dark. But I think it'd be interesting if we get him down this dark path and make him, because by and large, Tom is a good kid. He's a good person. So when he gets the black suit, it could be more of a switch. And then in the 6th movie, when he's still kind of recovering from the black suit and trying to get back to what he knows, he's kind of already emotionally beaten down. I think it's interesting that he can line up the 6th movie, his 6th movie, be a Sinister Six movie proper. So he's just recovering from the black suit, and then you set up Sinister Six. Yes, please. I've needed Sinister Six for the longest time, and I feel like that's the next step, a next direction. That being said, now that they're around, you can never discount Tobey and Andrew from popping up. Or, as Jamie Foxx said, I really thought you'd be black. Are we going to get hints to Miles sooner rather than later? I'm just happy to see that Spider-Man is not going anywhere, and I think it's because, as we'll talk about in our predictions, I think Sony and Marvel figured out some new agreements of who can show up where after the success of No Way Home. Well, we'll save that for later. Josh, you see Spider-Man 4 is on the horizon. Yay, nay, what are we doing with this movie?
Yeah, let's go. Absolutely. Especially after No Way Home. I think I almost would be worried if they didn't announce it, because it just makes sense. After that Sony exec was like, yeah, we got another trilogy in the works. It was like, okay, cool. I can relax. Awesome. And now they're like, hey, like the fourth
now that Feige himself has said it, you're going, oh, okay.
Now we're like, okay, now it's a real thing.
Because just like Amy Pascal could say whatever the heck she wants, doesn't mean Kevin Feige will go along with it. Because nothing is greater for us comic book fans than seeing Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal in interviews together, and seeing Amy Pascal just not give a crap at all and having no filter, and Kevin Feige's look of sheer panic whenever she's talking. I'm just going, no, we're not ready to talk about that. We're not ready to talk about that. And like him trying to control his face from not freaking out just makes me always laugh whenever I see that together.
Oh, you mean so like any interview with Tom Holland and
he's gotten better about that.
But he has, but it's fun now. Zendaya polices him on purpose and puts it. It's just fun to watch. But yeah,
we've got some questions for Andrew Garfield, huh?
Yeah. Boy, gaslit us for years. I ain't about that. But it's at the same time,
he's about to go tick tick boom.
Yeah, dude, that movie's fantastic. I don't care that. Andrew is.
I actually feel
so
bad.
Good.
I feel bad for Andrew Garfield because I'm hearing nothing but great things about Tick Tick Boom, and the entire time that movie was about to come out, hey, are you in Spider-Man? You in Spider-Man? What's it like being Spider-Man? He's like, dude, you do realize I've poured my heart and my soul into this movie, and I spent a year trying to learn how to sing, but can you sing as Spider-Man? Stop it!
I feel so bad. Interviewers these days are less about the movie that they're interviewing, more about, let me get spoilers out of you, which is unfortunate because,
I need Andrew Garfield on Hot Ones.
Dude, Andrew Garfield is, I think, slowly becoming one of my favorite actors.
He's phenomenal.
Of all time. I don't think there's been a single one of his performances that I didn't like. There's been, movies he's in that I'm like, eh, but, his performance in all of them is almost spot on every time. But we're talking about Tom Holland. So
for now,
I'm down. I love getting down to grassroots. I love that we're going to be scaling back on technology. I love that he's going to have to get a job and get his GED because technically he doesn't exist in any system, period.
Which is so Spider-Man, it's not even funny. If I remember correctly, right? He didn't graduate college either because he just missed it. He was either just short on credit hours or didn't make graduation or something like that. It's just so Spider-Man. It's perfect, and I love it so much.
Dude, I'm excited. I don't know. I can see them introducing Harry, but I don't know if they would have Gwen around with MJ still out there. That's my only thing, is they've set up this cosmic love story between him and MJ of I don't know.
I actually have thought about this. We have the first movie of Harry and Gwen and his other friends. Harry, because he's Harry, throws some big college party or whatever, and the doorbell rings, and he's like, hey, Pete, go get the door. Opens the door, and we recreate that famous panel where we first meet MJ, and it's MJ at the door at this college party, and he's there with Gwen, and she doesn't know who he is. We get this, kind of reverse of Vulture, almost, of, when Vulture opened the door, you're going, of, things are finally going well for me. I'm Spider-Man. I have my work and my life balanced and everything. And then he opens the door and it's MJ with red hair. And you're just going, please, please, please. Also, with these Spider-Man movies going forward, now I'm just getting too nitpicky of things I want. I got him my homemade suit. I got him being broke and no one cares about him anymore. The world hates him and I love it. The only thing I need now is for pictures of Spider-Man. He needs a job and he's got to work for that sketchy... I love how sketchy the Daily Bugle podcast is. It's like, it's basically our setup. It's a camera and that's it. Like, I love how low-tech Jay Jonah is. Bring in a camera, make him a photographer again. We got close with Andrew Garfield. We only ever saw email attachments, but I think the future of Spider-Man has never looked brighter. Mm-hmm. The multiverse of Spider-Man has never looked brighter. We'll put it that way because let's segue into our next topic.